And we are live, even though I didn't hear the beep. Hi, Gosha.
Hello, Sophie. Welcome back from European tour.
Thank you.
Sophie's back.
Yes, back. Actually, it's been a while that you and we haven't done this hangout. So I want to thank everybody who's been super patient with us. I know I've been getting lots of emails. I can't play the replay. That's because there was no replay. But now we are here and I'm very excited. And I thought we could talk about business today. So, first of all, how are you, my friend? I haven't talked to you forever. How are you?
Great. There's so many things showing up and things I've been asking for a long time. It's like, oh, is this what I've been asking for? Yes. Oh, totally different than I would ever envision. And it's all of the things that are happening. It's exactly what I've been asking for, but nothing is what I would think this is the way it's going to show up. Like it's always, we say it's never going to show up the way you think it's going to show up. And it's like exemplary way of creating it.
Yeah. And does this have to do with your business?
Yes, but different possibilities, different businesses, because I've been asking different businesses, different possibilities, new people, what would it take for, for Orange County to make me money, for my body to make me money, for like anything, for the whole universe to contribute. And it's showing up in a very interesting and fun way.
Well, can you share an example? Because I think it may be useful for people to see that.
Well, I wanted to do something. I realized if I don't facilitate clients or do sessions, or I don't facilitate a class, I don't really, have any money coming in from anything else. And we created, Evelina, my friend, photographer and designer, created the cards. And there were like a deck of cards, 40 cards, like, people do angel cards and tarot cards to ask about the future, but ours is all about access tools, and it's the card for awareness, body, for sexualness, for money, for ask, we shall receive, and all of that. And they're just beautiful, and we just ordered them. So I know they will bring more, and they will create so much consciousness. It will be an access product. They're absolutely beautiful, great gift for everyone. We have an app for both type of phones and a website. So everything is ready to launch as soon as we receive the cards physically. So this is one of these things that it took us a while to create, but the creation was just so much joy and so much energetic contribution from everywhere. Would like literally ask, hey card, we had description. What would you like to be? Would you like to be a person, an animal, a landscape, anything? And would get these images and would start playing with images and computer, and we use a lot of our photography, and it just came out so magical. So this is one of the creations. Another one, I got invited to this amazing new brand that's wellness, youth inside out, skincare and supplements. And I was like, no, not me. But the energy is so amazing, and everyone on the team is access. So like just asking questions, playing, and having so much fun and creating so much. And I was like, truth, if I choose this, will I create more consciousness in the world? It was such a big yes. It's like, okay, I guess I'm doing that. This is my body part doing this. So
that's awesome. It's funny because I was looking recently at how do we bring new people to use tools that they have never discovered yet, never heard about, they don't know anything about. And it's this thing that people have to find something they are familiar with, or something that they need or require that may be a lot more finite than what we are offering with the tools and classes. So, I'm currently doing, I'm going to be doing the first BU class in Los Angeles in May. And I'm super excited, but I'm like, okay, do people actually know what being you means? Like you and I, we've done the classes, we have a sense, even sometimes we wonder what being you is, but for a lot of people, it may not connect yet. So I was looking at that, and to me, creating business is also like being the bridge between what we know and what people are looking for, right? So I don't know if you guys know this, but Facebook has this, so you know how there's private messages on Facebook, but if somebody contacts you that has never contacted you before, and they don't write very good English or very good, whatever your language is, Facebook actually does not allow you to see that message. They put it in something called a filtered folder.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people don't know that. So I actually posted on a depression Facebook group that I had been using different tools to get out of depression. But the people that contacted me they're not friends with me. They never contacted me before. And so Facebook put their messages in the filtered folder. Now, I found out about the filtered folder today. So I went in there and I saw these messages and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm responding to them. And it's like, okay, so maybe you may not get out of depression right away with access, but I know for a fact that if something changes people's lives, it's access. And so I sent them a couple of tools and I asked them where they were located in the world and this kind of stuff. But it's fascinating to me how we have to really connect what we're doing with the people out there. So for you, even if you didn't think you wanted to do beauty or vitamins, maybe the people looking for what a vitamin or a skincare product will give them, eventually they will have a conversation with you where you'll be like, hey, you know what? Did you ever think about taking care of your skin, with energy? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like ... And I love that. This is what is fascinating about business, is the discovery of what will create more.
Yes, and this is the tool that most people don't use. People go into opportunity or conclusion, and if something looks good or sounds good, I might jump on it. But people don't ask questions. We actually always look in the future. When I looked into the future, it was so surprisingly big. My body jumped. It was like explosion of energy. I was like, really? And I could not deny it. So this is something that I know for sure that will create something greater, even though it's inconceivable right now. There's no linearity in it. There's no conclusion. There's no story yet. It's not written yet. So it's more like, okay, I'm just going to have fun and follow the energy. And I realized how much I put myself in a box. I'm access consciousness facilitator, a healer, coach, and I cannot do anything else. And how many possibilities I excluded in my life throughout, the years I've been facilitating, because I was like, no, I'm a facilitator. No, I'm a facilitator. I'm a facilitator. I would not do this. I would not do that. And I see people actually creating different things. And my friend said, well, why do you think Gary sells jewelry and antiques? And I was like, oh, I never thought about that. And he does real estate and he does horses. And he didn't put like, I'm an Access Consciousness founder and I'm going to just do Access Consciousness. He's a smart man. I wasn't a very smart woman putting myself in Access Consciousness box, because it's proven it's the best I found so far, the most dynamic, the most effective. And what else is possible? I asked what else is possible, but I was totally unwilling to see what else is possible and perceive what else is possible. So this was really very interesting last few days, like me looking at all the places. I cut myself off from possibilities and awarenesses because I decided something that seemed positive and good. It's a positive judgment that created limitation.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is exactly the energy that I was asking for this morning. So this is yay! Yeah. Because, okay, so you found something that you enjoy, that the energy is light around, and it does not define you as long as you don't let it define you.
Yes.
And that to me is the key. Is okay, so how many times in our business do we let what we do with our business define us?
I think all the time. And what would it take to really be aware when we're doing it? I am looking back and, oh my goodness, I did it all the time, every day since I became facilitator, literally.
Yeah.
And I'm changing it. Not my reality anymore. This is not creating the most. Because I started asking, it's like, okay, I create miracles all the time. I have a great life. Yet this life is so too small for me. I could have so much greater life, so much more beautiful, expansive, amazing. And I started recognizing that I've been actually trying to create from judgment, like, oh, I didn't create enough here. That's a judgment rather than, okay, that's great. And what else is possible? So for a few years, last years, I've been trying to create from judgment and realized that it really not creates. Humanoids don't create from judgment. We create from questions. So I would always be the judgment and then turn it into a question, but the judgment was still there. So now it's like I catch myself within a nanosecond when I go in any kind of judgment about any kind of creation, and just try and create it and turn it into a question and possibility. And it's really started showing up as if by magic, like things and people. And there's a mom bringing a kid for a play date, and turns out she's like exactly looking for what I have to offer. Like she's looking for access tools, and she's thanking me to this day because I sent her some videos and hangouts, and she's like, oh my God, this is the best in the world. And she was looking for it, and she brought the kid. We talked for a few minutes. It's like it's just showing up as if by magic, without me trying to control the whole universe to make something appear in my life. So really cool.
That's awesome. One question I've been asking to expand my business is, what am I not using yet to make money? And so it's very comfortable because I'm not using my dog. Ooh. Okay, so people will be like, why would you use your children to make money? Is that not like child slavery? And and I realized my children actually like seeing, they love playing, they love creating. And this weekend, I was like, oh, it's gonna rain all weekend. What am I gonna do with them? But I'm like, okay, so what if we created a series of videos for kids and consciousness? And so created that, right? Because my kids love the bars, and I can just have conversations with them and film the conversations and see what shows up, And I'm okay. So that's something else too, is what else can business. So Gosia is not stopping her fastation. She's not stopping her classes. She's adding to all of that she's already doing, and being a mom, and being a wife, and being a friend. She's adding to all of that.
Yeah.
And that's also what creates more. Now, where it creates less is when you say, okay, well, I'm going to do this, but not that. Or I'm not going to do this because I can't do that, right?
Yeah. And what I've noticed also, when I put my energy into not just like classes, I have classes posted, people started signing up for the classes. Just
exactly.
I was like, oh, this is how it's working. How cool is that? How does it get better?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like I know exactly what you mean. I've had so many people come to me and say, what do I need to do to expand my bars business, right? And I always tell them, go meet people. Go meet people. Go live your life. Go do what you do. If you focus, if you concentrate on bars, on the business of bars, then you're not actually creating the bars, because the bars is about creating more, expanding, creating something different. But when you're being you, and when you go there and there and there, then this business also expands. This is so cool. I love talking to you, Gosia.
Me too, honey. That's getting better. So what are the tools? Oh, we haven't talked about talking to businesses. So if somebody is not aware of that, business has life force energy on its own. It's like the being entity that has a life. So we think we know, we might know marketing, we might know the tools, we might know different things, but what if your a business requires you communicating with it and asking it, what does it desire, what does it require? And it's different energy. Actually, desire and requires very different. So when I ask you, what do you require, you're like, oh, I require a roof over my head, and I require food from time to time, and a bed, and like essentials. But what do you desire? Suddenly so much more can show up. Well, I desire this and that and that. That's more like on the additional side. That would be such a contribution to our life, and yumminess, added yumminess and joy to our life. But it might be not requirement, the bare minimum. So like when you ask your business, hey, what do you require of me today? Maybe it's like make the phone call and send an email and catch up with this person or check out this website. But what do you desire for me, of me, and for yourself? It's a completely different energy. Maybe it's like, yes, go out and network and have fun at the party and see what shows up. That can be a completely different set of awarenesses and ways to go and be with it than if we just stick with require. This is what I was doing for the longest time. I was just asking for require. And I kept it to like this, skeleton of bare minimum of the kind of legwork and more doing than being. And now I jumped into more of being, and it's so much easier and more fun. And I always knew about it. I heard of it, but I never did it. And you've been doing it for a long time. You've been being it. And I like jumped into being in and out with the business. I can be doing being everywhere else, but I was doing more doing than being, and it felt like a lot of work and not that much results. So that is very new for me, very new and exciting.
That's awesome. To me also lately, because one thing I desire to contribute to people is for them to create things they only dreamt about, right? So things they said, yeah, maybe one day, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's possible. So in order for me to be able to have energy for others, I had to look at what is it that I want to create that I think it's not possible. So I happen to have my best friend from college is, I went to college 21 years ago. I graduated about 20 years ago from college. Mm-hmm. And my best friend from college is today a billionaire. Okay. And trust me, he did not start as a billionaire at all. Like he had
self-made.
Yeah. So he worked. So the difference between he and I is that he actually has the point of view that everything is hard. So he worked really hard. Okay. But outside of that, he is relentless. He's very creative, and he will stop at nothing. Right. So I had to look at, okay, what am I stopping at? And this is where what you were saying at the beginning showed up for me, where all the conclusions I made about who I am, how I am, what kind of facilitator I am, what I do, how do I do it? And suddenly I was like, all of that is gone. Now, how am I going to create today? How am I going to create tomorrow? What is it going to look like? I have no clue. And it's highly uncomfortable. And at the same time, it's very exciting. Yeah?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I've been perceiving this. This Dane was talking about the ache of dissatisfaction. And I've been really so aware of this dissatisfaction energy, but not coming from judgment, but coming from the awareness of so much more is possible. And I've been just sitting with this energy and looking at it. And it's like, wow, this is how it feels. And it's almost like this jittery, this like you want to crawl out of your skin, and you're just like, you want to scream, and you want to run, and you want to punch walls, and you want to laugh. You don't know what to do. But this it feels like this generative energy that it's begging to go outside and create more, because we are capable of so much more, even if we have everything we asked for so far. There's always possible for us, because we're all magical beings, and I bet we use, a few percent of our capacities. We haven't stepped into most of them yet. We maybe suspect we have them, yet they're like untouched territories completely. So when I'm becoming like aware of this, sit in this like dissatisfaction mode, it's like, wow, this is so cool. What else can I create? What else is possible out there? And I love it. Before I would judge it, I would be like, I don't feel good. I would complain. I would nag. And now it's really something that drives me forward. And I love it.
That's awesome, man. That's really awesome. I have to tell you that those two classes that I just did in Florence, the facilitators class and the Being You Certified Facilitators class, are two of the most uncomfortable classes I've ever taken in Access. Wow. They were phenomenal. They were, the first one we had 240 people, the second one we had 90 people. So it's not small classes. And it took me a while to be like, okay, this just occurred. I at some point I cried my eyes out for like an hour and a half, which is not unusual for me in an Access class, but I just was aware of everything that was falling apart for me. Everything I've made right about me, everything I've made wrong about me, and how there was like, none of that mattered in the future. And it was kind of a new creation, a new start. Oh, so that's the other thing I wanted to mention to people who wanted to have more ease with their business is, what if actually nothing ever looked like what you did the day before, or a month before, or a week before? What if it always looked different, and you were always in the creating mode, because one day it's going to be about emailing people, one day it's going to be about social media, one day it's going to be about writing a great book. Who knows? Like, every day is going to be different, and it's phenomenal as long as you don't resist it, because if you resist it, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. By the way, I want to tell you a quick story. Gary taught us how to do the face. So the face is when somebody lies to us when we're frustrating them. And we're like, what? So he actually wants every facilitator to learn to do the face. Excuse me?
It's so good at it. I have my own version of the face. There's always
what
like,
is your version? What is your version?
Really, you're bullshitting me. Right? Like, yep, nice.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's funny. First time
okay,
heard of the face is new.
Yeah, because he was giving the face to people, and he was like, that's all that's required. When people are lying, don't defend, don't argue with them, just do the face. And if you do the face, it will change everything. And do it with people, they would lie to him, and he would do the face, and it was like they couldn't lie anymore. Unbelievable. This man is a genius, but he's so not usual, right? It's like genius in a way that we don't expect business people to make a face,
Right, you have a stone face and professional face, right? Always put together and composed. Nope. I do faces.
Yes.
Can't help it.
Okay, so do you have anything else you want to share about business?
Well, a good tool is what you said, that what if your business didn't look the same one second day in a row, but destroying and uncreating the business every day and everything you decided it's really good. And I always had a problem of destroying and creating everything. Yet when I got like, oh, you cannot destroy and uncreate what's true. You can only destroy and uncreate the conclusions, the lies, the limitations, whatever will keep you stuck in the future. when you decide that this is the way it is. And when I got that, I'm destroying and creating left and right everything, you know, about me, about my life, about my relationships, about my business, about everything, because you can start anew every day, and whatever you build energetically, it will be there. You're not destroying it. You're destroying whatever you concluded upon this energy and upon this creation already. So this is very valuable, and most people will not do it. Yet,
Yeah.
try. We guarantee something will change, and you feel like you excited every day, and you're enthusiastic about your creations every day, rather than like like I told you about my website that I didn't want to. Was it with you or somewhere else? I couldn't make myself to look at my business. Quantum Transformations was the name of it. And every time I tried to look there, I just had to like, I couldn't. And finally I forced myself to really sit with it and ask. And I was like, do you still want to be that? And it's like, no, like, I've been trying to talk to you for 2 months. And I realized that I haven't updated my schedule on my website for a year, exactly a year. Because somebody installed the calendar there, and it was some classes, and I never learned how to use the calendar. I just have a link to my Access Consciousness website, you know? So I was like, oh, people can check it there. I completely forgot about calendar, and I go there, it's like, I have classes from April 15th, 2015 there. And I was like, I could not make myself to go and do anything on the website. And I was like, do you want to be something else? I was like, yes. Do you want to have a different name? Yes. Even though it's colorful and beautiful, and I loved it when I created it, it's not me anymore. It's a creation from 6 years ago, you know? And I kind of put it like, I have a website. This is the, you know, a lot of box. I have the website, and here's my website. And I didn't want to change anything on it, because I judge myself as, you know, technologically very not talented. So I always have to ask someone and hire people to do that for even simple things. I know the simplest things, of course, the back office, but I realized like I have to start all over. I have to create a new website. I have to just go with my name, because I always said goshalawrence.com, and it would go into Quantum Transformations. But I have to, and I tried to change it before, but the guy who like is an admin, he said, well, you have so many followers on Quantum Transformations, you don't want to delete that. I'm like, okay, you know, I believe that this reality. It's like, okay, you know, so let's just add goshalawrence.com. It still go there. And I have this huge awareness. This was not creating for me at all. The website was not a contribution. I didn't get clients to the website. You know, it's so what, it's colorful and nice, and it was my pride 6 years ago. It's not anymore. So like, it took me a while to really be willing to look at that, because I didn't want to deal with it. It seems like a big project, too much work, big project, a lot of money. And I was like, no, now is the time to change it. I cannot any longer allow for this to drag, because it's like dragging behind me. It's the dead energy that's dragging behind me, you know? Not So I found the person immediately. Found the person. It's going to be created in like heartbeat. And I know it's going to be.
Even if you have a person, though, would you be willing to look at maybe what you know about technology that you're pretending not to know?
Oh my gosh, thank you. You know, when somebody shows it to me, I know how to do it. But it's not so much. But yes, thank you, honey. I have a lot of conclusions there.
And also, there's a wonderful thing called Google.
Yes, that's true. You can Google things.
Google, do pretty much anything today and learn how to do it. And I mean, it's amazing what can be done without formal education today, simply by going to Google or YouTube.
That's true. So for all of you who judge yourself as computer illiterate and not very talented with technology, will you destroy and uncreate all of that, please, including me? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, but call my shots, boys and beyond. I realized how much this stopped me, because I decided I can do this, and it stopped me for literally at least a year. And I think it was much longer.
And I want to say technology, accounting, legal things, marketing, all like copywriting, videos. These are all the areas that some people have a story about, I don't know how to do it, so I can't do it, I have to rely on somebody else to do it. And you know what? There may be somebody for whom it's more fun, for whom it's easy to do it for you. I'm not saying don't hire other people, but actually I learned this from Tony Robbins. He lost his first business to his accountant because his accountant said, don't worry, trust me, I know everything. And so he lost all the money of his first business to his accountant. And that taught him to never, ever rely on anybody else. Like, he could hire people to help him, but he had to know everything. He had to know all the laws, how everything worked. Otherwise, he would not be successful.
Wow.
And there's a great movie. Actually, Gary recommended Class in January. The movie is called The Intern, and it's Robert De Niro, who's older and who's going to intern in this fashion business run by Anne Hathaway. And Anne Hathaway is this brilliant business person who knows how to do everything in her business, from folding the paper in the box so that it looks pretty, to talking to the difficult customers on the phone. Absolutely brilliant. So if you want to know more about what it takes to be a great business person, watch The Intern.
Well, immediately tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, how does it get better? Like, what would it take for all our creations to be fruitful, joyful, happy, and always, no matter what, we are creating consciousness in the world. Like, I got that. We're creating, even if we're just talking about recipe, you know, cooking, we're creating consciousness. Just our vibrations, our being, our energy will change people around us. And that's the greatest gift we can be for the world and for ourselves and for our businesses. So what if your business was actually creating more consciousness, even if you didn't have a conscious business per se, you know, even if you were selling something or producing something, what if this was also creating more consciousness because you are running it and you are behind it?
I like that. I like that. That's really cool. Very cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, those are wise words that I want to end the Google Hangout on. Is that cool with you?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Sophie. This was wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And what else is possible? What can you create? Go, have fun, never quit, never stop, never give up. Just keep going.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, honey. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Sophie.